Good evening. Welcome to my end of the week recap for Apple and plan ahead for the next week, which is a new year. First of all, the trades I was holding overnight from Wednesday were some 9 January 170 calls here at 208. Took those off, half of them off here at 275. The other half trailed me out here at 257 once VWAP failed. The 172.5 weeklies I was holding at 17 took off at 35 for a nice cool even 100% gain. Friday, I did take one trade based on a 50-day simple moving average reclaim as support. Got in the 15 January 175 calls here at 94. Trailed me out as VWAP failed at 79. Overall, Friday was a pretty crappy day. We'll have to see what happens going forward. And let me get to my plan for the next week. This here I'm watching is going to be on a 30-minute time frame for any kind of support, but for now I'm going to be bearish. Question came up in Trade Crew chat room as to what I mean by a confirmation of a level. Basically, what I'm looking at is anytime I have identified a level as support or resistance for that matter, I'm looking for a confirmation of that level before I take a trade. Sure, it does not give me the best fill, but a confirmation in and of itself should tell you that it's at least a stronger play than just simply putting in an order at a level and leaving your stop just below. So with that said, what I mean by support is the most simplistic way of saying it, a break above a green candle. On a 30-minute basis here, you can see for Apple, price action came down. This red line represents the 50-day simple moving average. Price action came down, broke below it, and came back above it. Once it had a break above a green candle here, I did take this trade here, and those were the 175 calls. It did fail once it broke back below the VWAP over here, and just got out of the way. That is the easiest way I can explain what I can consider a confirmation. Now, depending on what kind of candlestick shows up, some are a little bit more reliable than others. For example, if you have a small little green doji like this with a spike in volume, implies that there's a battle at that level, and whichever way it breaks should be a winner and run that direction. As you can see, it popped up, but there was no volume and just kind of trailed back down. But that right there is a confirmation. This right here is a confirmation. This one right here into the close technically is a confirmation as well. Now, in relation to these confirmation points, you want to take into consideration the size of the move before that. For example, if you would have taken a trade here, a break above this green candle, your stop is going to be all the way down here at 171. It's almost a full dollar away. So that is just something to take into consideration. Now, going forward into next week, I'm going to be looking at some bearish entries for Apple here. First of all, we have broken below and closed below the 50-day simple moving average, which is leading me to my bearish plans. Now, I'm not overall bearish. I don't expect a huge crash. I don't expect a sell-off or a reversal in Apple. This consolidation channel that I have up here is still valid. Price action hasn't broken below it and voided bullishness yet. So I am still looking for this measured move overall. But for now, I'm going to take some bearish trades. First of all, on the open for Monday, I'm going to look at a breakdown below 169.20. This is a very nice H sell setup. What do I mean by H sell setup? Well, you have a leg down and a hump. Looks like a lowercase h. Entry is below this. Stop loss is going to be just above, which is almost a dollar. It's about 75 cents away. So if it breaks down, starts to run down, but catches some volume and runs back up through this level, I will get out immediately, as that is a false breakdown, and I do not want to be trapped in any kind of trades. Secondary plan will be resistance entry up here at the 8 and 21 period cross. As you can see on the daily time frame, they are crossing over here, which is a trigger for algorithms, and we'll see if that does bring in any more sellers. Anyways, if price action breaks down, comes up, and takes out the high of Friday, I will most likely void this entry here because that implies that bears are really going to get trapped here. For the simple fact that, as I said a minute ago, a breakdown trade fails, comes back up, starts triggering stop losses. Right here would be the next level of stops, and it's not too far away from the high of the day. So if that does happen, this will not likely have too much resistance here, and I may actually take some calls just above the high of Friday. Now that's just planning a little bit further in advance, so we'll see what does happen. I want to go over here to the weekly time frame real quick and just point out a few things. First of all, as I said a moment ago, this flag has not yet been voided. Price action is still contained in it fairly well. This candle, as I said last week, is as indecisive as you can get. Anytime you have a topping candle like this, the technical entry is a break below the low. Now when there's a gap, that kind of puts people off, puts participants off from taking the trade because your risk level is going to have to be way up above that candlestick. Now, so that probably led to not such a strong breakdown. As you can see, the weekly volume is not too high. I mean, it's about average, but on a breakdown like that, had it been opened up a little bit above it and broken below that candle, would have sold off probably a lot harder. We do still have the 21 EMA on the weekly time frame coming up. Previous all-time high right here should hold support. Resistances as they're broken turn into supports. And it's just technical analysis 101. As I said, I'm still looking for this measured move up to here. If this level does break, next area to watch as significant is going to be the bottom end of this other channel and 50 period simple moving average for the weekly time frame. So that's just thinking way far out in the future. For now, just day to day, I'm going to be looking for some breakdown entries down here below 169.20 and resistance up here. If it opens up flat, comes up, and it will likely run into resistance. All right, this will be my plan for the week ahead. Have a happy new year, be safe, and good luck next week.